Hey guys, welcome back to my workshop. So for the likes of you that have been cruising different websites like eBay and Banggood and stuff like that and looking at some of the different bits and pieces available on the market today, I decided there's one in particular piece that I really like the look of. It's an angled square for clamping in place to make, you know, forming joints when you're screwing boards together and doweling boards together and stuff. Thought it'd be really handy. However, I'm looking at the price of them at round about sort of £15 each delivered, and I just thought, well, why don't I just make them? So I'm gonna be going through a couple of different bits of kit that are new to me. One of them being the fantastic looking UJK sliding fence setup with the adjustable flag stop. So we're having a look at that. First time I'll properly be using it after setting it up. And the other thing I'm going to be testing out today is, again, a new to me Triton workcenter setup. Now, I've purchased this workcenter secondhand. It comes with everything. It comes with everything you can think of. But primarily it converts from a table saw to a router table to an MFT. And we'll have a little bit of a look at that, and I might do a separate video then just to take you through the Triton workcenter, because so far what I'm seeing of it, I think it's absolutely phenomenal for what it is. I bought mine at probably about a third of the cost what it would have been originally, or maybe half the cost of what it would have been originally. And I think, yeah, I'm chuffed with it so far. So let's put it through a couple of little paces today. I will be honest, you'll see me using the table saw today, and I don't have things like the riving knife set up and the top guard on it yet. It is something I definitely will be doing, because I just think, unless you're running sort of dados or anything like that for a table saw, you know, it's just silly not to have it. So yeah, stick with me. We're gonna have a little look, and like I said, just you know, be warned, this is my first time using some of these different bits of kit, so I may not sort of get it bang on 100% first time round, but we'll see how we get on. Right, let's go for it. Okay, so firstly, this Triton workcenter comes in a nice adjustable fence. Very basic, bog standard sort of, you know, way of turning the blade up and down. So we're going to do away with the UJK sliding fence for a moment. I'll just pop that down there. And this is quite an interesting system. So I've got 4 handles here that flip up, and then what I'm looking to do now is to adjust out to the 150 width that I want. There we go. That puts me in a position now where I can just lock it off. So the rail itself is adjustable from both sides. It's got an easy view there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's got an easy view there. It's got all the ruler measurements on the actual guide itself. And although this is the second time I've ever actually used it, I just want to get it right to the markings on the table. So one set of marks is for 90-degree cuts. The other set of marks is for 45. So again, I'm just getting used to which way round I'm reading this piece of kit. And we'll get that outfeed correct, otherwise it'll just bind up as I'm trying to cut. So let's double check that now. That should be the 150 I want. Yeah, spot on, absolutely spot on. So I'm really chuffed with that. So I'm going to fire it up. Okay, so what I've got here is a general purpose blade, and in all honesty the finish is not bad at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a straight edge across this now and just double check, because just registering it off the fence there is an ever so slight bit of movement in it. So I'm just going to take an old filthy Festool rail, which is perfectly straight across the back. I'm just going to run that across there. Oh god, yeah, in all honesty, that's bang on. For what I need it for, that's absolutely spot on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the camera, I'll get this side fence out of the way, and we can start cutting this into the size pieces I want now. So basically what we're going to have is a 90 degree, 45, 90 degree, 45, 90 degree. That'll make up 4 triangles, and then we'll look at then drilling the necessary holes in it to get the fixtures I want. So as you put it into the corner and form 2 boards together, I can run a clamp, and that's just going to hold the whole 90 degree section of the cabinet or whatever it is I'm doing, the frame, into place nicely, while I can get some fixings, while I can sort of marry everything up and get it just right, and just button it up. So So coming back now to the UJK sliding fence. Like I said, I think so far what I've seen, phenomenal piece of kit. So you've got your push handle, unscrew simply. You've got pre-sprung button catch. Okay, and just trying to think how I did this now. There we go. Pops nicely into 0 or any other angle. It's got sort of so many preset angles. Obviously we're going to be running at 45 in a minute now, just to form these corners. But I mean, to be honest, so far there's absolutely 0 slop in the angle presets, and obviously you can push the button up and you can make, you know, whatever you wanted in between 42 degrees. You know, it's even got a preset for 22.5, which I think is brilliant. So yeah, bring that round to 0. You see, if I put it into the fence guides, once it's in, fence guides all locked off, there's virtually 0 slop. Slides up and down very nicely. Like I said, we've got an adjustable flag stop here, we can move out to any size we want, and it even comes with a stick-on tape measure, which I haven't done as of yet, but I plan to plant that sort of off a 0 there, so I could bring that right up to the side of the fence, and I could pretty much drop my flag stop exactly where I want it, nip it off, cut. So yeah, so far I'm really impressed with this. So, but for the purposes for 5 minutes, we are not going to need the flag stop, so I'll take that away. But it just seems really well made piece of kit. You know, I've got some grub screws on the side here. I can adjust the actual side fence to whatever I wanted. So yeah, so far cracking bit of kit. Never actually used it properly yet, so we'll get to see it today. Okay, so at this stage I made 2 cuts. Made 1 45 and then 1 90 degree cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run around now with a decent square before I sand and sort of router all these edges. Just going to run around now with a decent square and just actually double check that I'm running at 45 and 90 degrees. So that is absolutely spot on for 90 degrees that side. I'm going to bring it down. Reference that from 45. Wow, I'm really impressed. That's near as damn it absolutely spot on. Okay, so I'm done with the blade for the time being. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this right away. Save me catching my hand on it. And one of my favourite things about this UJK rail system is when it actually comes to putting it away, I can turn this all the way around to 90 degrees, lock it off, just this out that way, and it's as small and compact as that system's ever going to be to then be stored away. And always make sure to put the flag stop back on just so it doesn't get sort of waylaid. But with it being the stunning burnt orange anodised it is, I can't see it being lost for too long. So yeah, I mean, that's the UJK system. Absolutely cracking. So just going to double check all of these to make sure I'm happy with the 90s. Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty much spot on. So there's the 4 I was looking for. They're not necessarily perfect in size off of the 45s, but I wasn't necessarily worried about that. It's going to be very little I'd ever want to reference anything from that. So what we'll do now is we'll drop this top out. I'll drop the router in. So like I said, this is a very smart system. So now I've actually got the router table into position. So I'm going to spend a minute or two off camera just getting changed for a small chamfer bit, and then we can just run all this round, clean up all the edges, and then look at drilling some holes. Okay, so at this stage, all I'm going to do is run around with a very simple chamfer on all the edges of this square. Okay, didn't want anything too big because it obviously detracts from the actual little squares sitting nice and tight. So we've got all of these to go around. So as you can see, they're particularly furry where they've come off of the skill saw. So hopefully. So as you can see, just that, you know, minor little detail of running a small chamfer around, what an absolute, you know, difference that's made. You know, so this stock is around about sort of 19-20 mil thick, I guess. 21 mil. So nice solid Iroko. So hopefully by the time I've drilled sort of a couple of holes across this will still retain a certain amount of its strength. So I'll just quickly get the rest of these done. Okay, so yeah, so there we have it. A little bit of sanding, a little bit of finishing left to do. I suppose really I could go round and just chamfer out these holes with the router table. I don't think that would necessarily be too much work. Push this one right out of the way. Okay, so just to give you an example of the functionality of these, got two pieces of 18mm panel, some offcuts from my kitchen. And what you would look to do with these basically is offer one of these into place. Okay. Drop a clamp in here. Okay, hasn't got to be perfect. Let's say that this was another piece of panel exactly the same size. It would give me an opportunity then to offer this one in. Whoop. Offer this one in. Okay. It's just an extra set of hands. You know, obviously I could use a soft mallet, knock it around till it's perfectly in place. But what that's effectively going to do is just give me a second set of hands. You know, I have done wardrobes in the past where I'm trying to put the top section of wardrobe in. And it's a bit of a ball ache on your own, massive old set of wardrobes. So again, what you could always do is to drop one of these in. You could always put a second clamp on it. Put a second clamp on here just for security. Sit that at the front of the wardrobe set, so as you're trying to slide the top panel in, you know, one of these on either side of the wardrobe. As you're trying to put that top panel in, then that's just going to act like an extra set of hands for you while you go around, make sure it's all 100%, and then screw it into situ. So there we go, my cheap, rough, ready Iroko corner clamps.